Welcome back to day 8 of our daily play along series, where every single day I put a challenge link in the description. You guys play a day ahead of me, and then when I play the next day, and we learn together, play together, and have fun together. But most importantly, we learn together. You might be able to tell I very fumbled the bag today. I forgot to record my audio. So this is post Rainbolt talking to you. I'm explaining guesses. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. But yeah, so we do what we gotta do though. Okay, we have double yellow outer lines here, which are found in mainly the Middle East. It's very common. You get these yellow outer lines. Yellow outer lines, very, very common here. So you get Israel, Jordan, and UAE. But I was showing that UAE is the only country with a white Google car. Jordan has black, and Israel has a long antenna. So plus with the overall vegetation, everything like that, language, very UAE. Here, I immediately thought, wait, is this pole going to be the iron knob pole that we had in the World Cup that I lost on? But like, no, this feels very Queensland. And we had town names there, so I immediately should start scanning into Queensland here after I realized that, like, yeah, it's definitely going to be Queensland. And so I was like, okay, I can probably find Winton and Longreach. And I immediately just zoomed in to where the vegetation looked like in Queensland, which would be like more western because more east it gets green. And I immediately found Longreach, pretty big on the map there. And we knew Winton was going to be 130 miles to the north and Longreach was going to be 50 miles to the south. But I was just scanning. I was like, wait, this road to our west isn't covered on Street View. Or so I thought. And so I was just like, wait, what? So I was like, okay, we're going to be at A2 somewhere. And that's when I was just like, I'll just guess kind of like what I thought made sense. Like regionally, just kind of in the middle of the road. Was slightly more south. And I zoomed in. And it was on the road. It was covered. You just had to zoom in a lot just because it was a dirt path. But I just didn't care / didn't look to zoom in. So that's fine. Round 3 here we had this pretty standard Senegal. Very, very, Senegalese with the rift in the sky. The car rack driving right. Senegal drives right. So is Ghana and Nigeria. But other than that, it just feels very like Senegal. We also had a Senegal flag there, but who needs that when you have a rift, right? As far as like region guessing, I was kind of just looking around. It felt like we had these like pretty green trees, and it still felt pretty dry. So my immediate thought was like, okay, I think we're gonna be somewhat south of Tuba. So I went south of Tuba, kind of in this region where I felt like I had seen something similar to this region before, and yeah, it was indeed south of Tuba there. Pretty good points, 25 kilometers away. And this is what I was mentioning earlier. We had these double yellow outers again. But this time we have a long antenna, which means we're going to be in Israel. So immediately, it felt like we're going to be in like Palestine, but Palestine usually has a follow car behind you in Palestine, so I didn't really put 2 and 2 together there. Israel is such a small country, it doesn't really matter, but it did feel like kind of like nowhere near Tel Aviv to me, so I went kind of more east. But it actually ended up being near Haifa, which Israel is such a small country, it doesn't really matter. And then round 5 here, I immediately recognized it's going to be like North Brazil. We have the ladder poles, which indicates we're going to be in Brazil. As far as like vegetation Brazil goes, it's like very, very dry, and you get these like trees, like these low trees and like shrubs. Very, very, very common in like northeast Brazil. Very Brazilian dirt as well, obviously. But I was confused because I thought this red dirt was interesting for northeast Brazil, because usually in the northeast you get more of kind of like a white-ish soil, gray soil. So I was like, it's a little red, so I was kind of nervous of like going too north, or even west. I thought it could be maybe more west, which is why the soil color was kind of like that. And so I ended up clicking kind of right here. I clicked way too south at this last second for some reason and clicked center and entered. And I fumbled the bag on that Brazil. But overall, it's a pretty solid score. Pretty easy seed again. One really good single guess. 2 small countries that are pretty free points. And then it really comes down on whoever gets the best score is probably whoever got the best Brazil guess here. So look at my friends. Everyone had these very similar guesses. We all had very similar scores. Everyone got the A2 in Australia. Everyone, very standard UAE, Israel, and then Senegal. My guess in Senegal was pretty good, so it helped, but my Brazil, I fell short, which is why my score is a little bit lower. Because I could have easily picked up 1,000, 1,500 points there. But yeah, see how JHK and Blinky did. JHK did JHK things, and then Blinky, exactly what you would expect from the man. So, like I said, it really comes down to whoever got the best score, whoever got the best Brazil guess there. But yep, sorry I fumbled the bag on today's video with the audio. I hope this was good enough, and I'll put tomorrow's link down in the description. And good luck tomorrow, and let me know how you did on today's. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.